Alright y'all, welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we are going to be diving into how solitude is a gift from God meant to shape you into the person that God created you to be, and how you can embrace solitude and make the most out of solitude and not reject it and avoid it, but actually embrace it and allow it to form you into the person that you're meant to be and that God created you to be. And I'm going to be diving into personal experiences of solitude and isolation that I've had that have allowed me to shape me into the person that I am today, and how it was a necessary part of my journey and how it can be the exact same for you. So the first thing that I want to discuss when it comes to solitude is that you have two choices. You can allow solitude to ruin you, or you can allow solitude to shape you into the man or woman that you are meant and created to be by God. And those are two choices that you can either run away from it, you can avoid it like most of our generation does, or you can embrace it and you can feed it and you can take advantage of it. And this is such an important topic in our generation specifically, especially with all the external distractions, with the phones and everything else. We are never in true solitude. We are never in true peace. We constantly need attention. We constantly need validation from others. We constantly need to be around people and to have people around us. We can't be alone with ourselves in silence for longer than 5 minutes. And this is something that has plagued our society, and I think it's why so many of us struggle with lust, struggle with not feeling like enough, that are depressed and have anxiety and all these different things and feel distant from God, is because of our inability to be alone with ourselves and to be in solitude and to be in isolation. And I think this is something that God uses to actually help us to find our purpose, to grow closer to Him, to actually learn that if we have Him, we have everything that we need. And I truly believe that every man and woman needs to have a season of solitude. If you haven't had a season of solitude, or you're in one now, or you are thinking about getting in one, it is a necessary part of anyone's journey in their walk with Christ. It is a necessary part of being a Christian. It's a necessary part of becoming the person that God created you to be. Without it, there's a limit to the growth that you can have as a human being, and a limit to how far you can develop your relationship with God. And I know that may sound crazy for most, but until you've experienced that solitude, you will understand what I'm saying. Like those of you who have been in deep solitude and actually took advantage of it, you know exactly what I'm saying. There's a level of growth that is gained during that time that you can't compare to anything else. And so for me personally, like solitude has been a massive part of my journey. It's been honestly the key of my journey. My entire journey started in solitude. And I've talked about this in previous YouTube videos, but when I first went into college, I'm from PA originally. I went to college in North Carolina, and I moved down there. I had lost all my friends at that point. I had a falling out with all my friends, everyone that I ever knew and loved and thought were my friends and whatever else. We had a falling out. I was in a 2-year-long relationship, and I ended up losing that in college. I was waking up. This is when I started my journey. I started waking up at 5 a.m. every day. I started just grinding and not partying. I stopped going out. I stopped drinking. I went into college and I promised myself I would never have another sip of alcohol again until I achieved my dreams. And I went into college and I was completely alone. I felt like I had lost everything I'd ever known. And everything that I was just my whole previous life just died. A part of me died. Who I was, and this is so hard to explain, the person that I was and thought I was and the life that I had died, and a new person was being created. I was reborn in Christ during this time, which even further pushed that. But I was in a season of solitude. This forced me to be alone for the first time in my life. As someone who used to be popular and have the friends and have the friend group, always had people around me and always had something to do on the weekends and always had something and people to talk to. For the first time in my life, I was completely isolated, completely alone. And it was the most difficult but necessary times of my life, and the biggest season of growth. And even still to this day, I incorporate solitude in my journey, and I still am in a season of solitude, just different degrees. And it truly was the foundation that formed me into who I am now. Without that solitude, I wouldn't have done what I've done on social media. I wouldn't have found God. I wouldn't have done any of the things that I've done here today. And the biggest and most important takeaways that I can say from my experience was that I took advantage of that time. Every single day, I embraced it. I actually avoided, I was trying to have isolation because I knew I needed to heal. And a lot of times we avoid isolation because you're forced to confront the things that you're dealing with. You're forced to, everything that's on your mind, everything that you've dealt with in your entire life starts coming up to the upfront because you're just with your thoughts and God the whole day. So everything from your past starts coming up. Everything that you've experienced in your life and everything that you hate about yourself starts coming up. all these past traumas and everything, and you're forced to face it. But during that time where you're forced to face it, you realize how incapable we are and how much we need Jesus. And this is where we're actually forced to lean on God during these times, because we're like, it's so overwhelming. All these different things that are being poured on us and all these feelings and emotions that we're experiencing and we're facing right in front of us, we're forced to face, and we realize then that we need Christ, that we can't do it without him. And that was what I did. I started to feel all these emotions, and I remember literally just crying every single day, eating every single meal alone, doing everything alone. I was alone 24/7, and I would cry every single day. I would be crying out to God, like, I'd be eating my food and just crying and just being like, I was so depressed, I was so alone. But during that time, I was just grinding. Like, I knew the answer was to take advantage of this. But it didn't mean it wasn't difficult. It didn't mean it wasn't hard. But I knew that I had to take advantage of this season of solitude, and I knew that God was calling me into this season of solitude because I knew it was going to make me into the person that he created me to be. So I took advantage of it. Every single day I woke up and I was like, I'm going to do my best every single day. I'm going to live for you every single day. I'm going to do my best to honor you. And that's what started this whole thing. And I just remember how much emotion was in it back then. And that's what it needs to be for you guys. You need to embrace and almost avoid these external distractions in your life so that you can fully heal from the things of your past, and so that you can finally learn that if you have God, you have everything that you need. And that's what I learned during this time. It took a while, but after a few months in this solitude, and after a few months of being alone with Christ and fully leaning on him every single day and asking him to give me strength, I finally was becoming content with who I was and with being alone. I didn't need anyone else in my life. I just needed God. And once I got to that point, that's a peace that cannot be taken away from you. Once you get to that point where you learn that if you have God, you have everything that you need, there is nothing that can break you. You are so at peace with your life and on your journey. There is nothing that can break you. There is nothing that can stop you but yourself. And it's such a peace that I can't even explain, and that you only can experience once you dive into the deep end in solitude, and you embrace that solitude, and you lean on God during those difficult moments, and you eliminate external distractions. And once you embrace that and you learn that, it takes time. Just like I say in every single video, it's a common trend. All of these things take time. We need to be patient with God. We need to be patient with ourselves. Be patient with yourselves. Have mercy on yourself. And just continue to do your best every day and just lean on God during these seasons of isolation, and just try to be content with being alone. And don't fear, don't avoid the things that you're feeling. Feel everything that you're feeling. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself embrace it. And attack it. Start to heal from it. Start to evaluate and learn about yourself. And that's what you learn in solitude. You start learning about yourself. You start learning your weaknesses. You start learning your flaws, your shortcomings, your good things, your good traits that you have. You learn about yourself, and you also learn about the world. You just learn so much because you're just analyzing the world. You're analyzing people, and you're just with your own thoughts all day. And it's such the amount of growth and maturity that I had during that time is unlike any other time in my life. It truly transformed me as a person. I went from just a regular high school kid who just drank and partied every single weekend to someone who was I'm dedicating the rest of my life to my future family, to God, to retiring my parents. It completely reframed my mindset and on life and everything that I was doing. And it gave me such a confidence and peace that you can't get without solitude. You can't get without learning to be content on your own and to be okay with being alone with God. And it's something that we all need to embrace, and it's so difficult. It is so difficult, but it's necessary. So if you're in a season of solitude right now, if you're struggling, if you feel alone, you need to reframe your mindset to not be I'm alone, this sucks, this is horrible. You need to reframe that and be okay, yes, I'm alone. And but how can I take advantage of this time? How can I use this time to grow? And you need to confront and be strong and confront everything that you're facing and all the emotions that you're feeling. And you need to bring all of that to God. You need to surrender all of that to God. You need to fully lean on God during this moment, and to find out and to learn that if you have him, you have everything that you need. And once you get in a point where you're fully content with being alone, that's how you know you're ready to move on. You're ready to find your people. And God will give you your people when your time is right. If you're truly walking in the path that God has for you, he will give you those people when he thinks you're ready. But you have to walk in that path. You have to not be seeking it. You have to be just content with where you are. And if you're seeking other things, you're not content with where you are. So that's how you know. But you need to be content with your walk with Christ and you're in solitude before God's going to give you the people that are meant for you in your life. So you need to reframe your mindset and embrace this solitude, embrace this season of alone, and know that the pain that you're feeling can't compare to the joy that's coming. And that the learning to be alone and learning to be content with just you and God is the biggest blessing and gift that God gives all of us and is a necessary part of your journey. And this journey is shaping you into the man that God created you to be. You just got to keep going, keep pushing, be strong, and you guys got this. Like, I know you can do it because I know I did it, and I know that you can do it too, and I know God is so much more powerful than the pain that you're feeling, the things that you're dealing with internally, and He will heal you of whatever it is that you're struggling with, and He will give you the strength to push through. He will give you the strength to learn that if you have Him, you have everything that you need. So just remember that if you have God, you have everything that you need, and embrace that solitude. And I promise you, it'll completely change your life. And at the end of this solitude is a person that you won't even be able to recognize. So just keep going. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you guys to put a thumbs up emoji because that lets me know that you guys don't have garbage attention spans. If you guys want to support the movement, cop some crew necks. They're still available at 10% off. If you want to download the Upspace app to help bring health back to our world or get some Happy to Be Here cacao, greatly appreciate all of you. And together, we will save our generation. And always remember, Jesus got you. God bless y'all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.